Hi everyone. My name is Yana, and I'm a Google Logistics Specialist. I handle delivering a business's target audience with the required parameters, and I help scale online sales for businesses in different countries around the world. And in today's video, I'll be showing you step by step, from start to finish, what you need to do to set up shopping ad campaigns or performance max on a platform like OpenCart. OpenCart is quite a popular platform for launching both Google Shopping and SEO promotion. So it's really well developed in this regard, and it's quite convenient for long-term projects and testing. So what do we need to do to set up Google Shopping on OpenCart? For this, we need to set up several important services within Google itself, because it's still not that universal. What do we need for this? Set up Merchant Center. This is a separate service where we will upload information about our products, and where Google will check them separately for compliance with its policies, service requirements, and other such matters. Next, we need to set up goals. This is what, basically, our smart strategies in Google Shopping or Performance Max will be optimized for. And at the very least, you'll be able to see how effective your advertising is. And next, we need to set up the Google Ads service itself, the advertising account, from which we'll actually be launching these ad campaigns. We'll probably start with the longest stage, and in most cases, for some people it might appear. For most people, this stage might be the most difficult. This is the setup of Merchant Center. Why is this the longest or most difficult stage? Because, first of all, you need to create this Merchant Center, fill in all the information about your business, plus upload information about your products, and then wait at least 72 hours for Google to check all your products or your store for compliance with its rules. Some advertisers may encounter issues with moderation in Merchant Center. Indeed, in 2024 to 25, Google will be quite strict with most stores. Every year, it only makes its rules for checking stores more complicated, sometimes to the point of absurdity. But that's not what we're talking about today. So, if you suddenly get banned from Merchant Center, if you have any difficulties passing moderation, write to me. I'll leave my contacts either in the first comment or in the video description. We can resolve this issue separately so as not to make this video any longer. What do you need to upload products to Merchant Center? First, create a Merchant Center account. What do you need for that? First of all, you need to log into some Gmail profile. Important, I would recommend that you either use an existing Gmail account or create a new one that allows you to access all your Google services like Google Ads, Analytics, and Merchant Center, whichever is most comfortable and convenient for you. I won't dwell on this step. I already have a Gmail profile created. Next, go to the link merchant.google.com. It might look completely different for you. No worries. It just redirects me to this error page because I already have a bunch of Merchant Center accounts. I'm going to create a new Merchant Center account now. It's not difficult to do here. What are they asking us? Are we selling online? Yes. Do we have to? We need to enter our actual, website here. Next. Do we have a physical store? Yes. No, I don't have one. I choose to continue. Next, well, it says that we can TTT those rules. We continue and then fill in the basic information. The first thing is your store name, which is required. It's best to make it so that it's very easy to find the exact same name duplicated on your website. So if your logo is different or your brand name is somehow different, you can enter the domain name, which is what I did in this case, and it won't be a big deal. Next, you select the country where you will be launching. For me, Ukraine was automatically selected. You choose from the list the ones you need. There's just one little nuance I want to point out. It's better to create this Merchant Center for your store in the country where you want to launch, so that all the IP addresses, all the locations, and basically all the data about your computer actually match the country where you'll be selling. It's kind of a life hack to make passing moderation easier. Yes, I want to receive emails, invitation. There's definitely nothing confidential here in this format that could harm you. It's better to agree. You might get something interesting sent to you. So now I've created a Google Merchant Center Next profile. What do I need to do? What's really convenient about this Merchant Center next is that it immediately shows us what we need to fill in here. So we'll go through all these points one by one. The only difference for me is that if you suddenly decide to run ads in the States, the United States of America, you'll have one more section about taxes. Later, I can show you where to find those taxes. So you can just enable it in this functionality. We need to add a business address. There's nothing complicated about this. You need to fill in the entire address with the zip code of the place where you are actually located. Why is it super important to fill in all this information? Because all of this has to match, by default, the information you have on your website. You have a contact section, and it's best if everything matches what you have listed on your website, because the system will check this and a manual moderator will also check it. Nothing complicated here, you'll handle this just fine. Verifying your phone number isn't very difficult either. You need to select your country code, enter your phone number, and confirm it. You'll be offered either an SMS or a call, during which you'll be given a code to simply confirm. Next, you need to confirm that you're online stored directly. Let's put it this way, this feature is more about confirming that this Merchant Center belongs to a specific website. So, what does this affect? It's important to have only one active Merchant Center, the one you'll be using, the one that will be approved. And we're telling Google that this Merchant Center is ours, and it belongs directly to our website because we're going to verify it in a certain way. How does this verification work? Verification can be done in several ways. Look here, it suggests that we can use some kind of automatic integration, but OpenCart isn't listed here. We need to either add an HTML code or, for example, upload an HTML file to our FTP for this whole process, or we can use Google Tag Manager to confirm this whole thing, to prove that this Merchant Center actually belongs to us. So, in this particular case, how are we going to verify ownership of the site? The most optimal way for all of you is to upload a file to your FTP. How do you upload it? You need to follow this link. It will immediately prompt you to download the file. You need to upload this file to your FTP, wherever it's convenient for you, and after that, you just need to follow this link. You can also use the Google Tag Manager format. Verification. The only thing is, we don't have it in this format right now, so you'll need to play around with it a bit if you want to. I'll now show a video of how verification through Google Tag Manager can be done, so you can understand the submission format. So, I'm going into Google Tag Manager. I definitely need to log in with my new email now. Now I'm going to create a new Google Tag Manager account. It's not very difficult. We'll also be using this service together to further set up the same goals on OpenCart. Choose the country that suits you. For example, I already started creating one for Ukraine, but it's not really important. There's no correlation here at all. Meanwhile, whether you choose the States or any other country doesn't matter at all. So, under this email, we have a Google Tag Manager account created. Now, potentially, we can click Check Our Site. And it tells us that, as you can see, the Tag Manager is not present on our site. So, we need to install this GTM on the site. How are we going to do that? And even setting up all the other goals will be done in the following way. Through this kind of module. I'll leave a link to it and add a promo code for a discount on its purchase. It's a really great module. It solves a lot of issues on OpenCart when it comes to communicating with Google services. It's called something like this. I click on Edit. And what do we need to do next? We go to the section called Scripts. This one right here. We need to set up this Google Tag Manager. Click on this block right here. First, copy the first script. Right here, let's go here. Find the head tag section and paste it in. And we also definitely need the body block. Here it is, the second code. Click to copy it, paste it in, and make sure to save everything. You can also double-check if the Google Tag Manager actually appeared on your site. Here's how you check it. In Google Tag Manager, click on Preview. A window like this will open up. Here, you enter your domain, click the Next button, and then you'll see a window like this. There should be a label saying Debug information is available, meaning it's being tracked. This means that GTM is published on our site. What do we do next? We go back directly to our Merchant Center and click Check. Next, all we have to do is either click Claim again here, or, as you can see, the check marks for Verified appeared right away, so we click Continue. In this case, my online store is already verified. So in this case, Google already sees that this Merchant Center belongs directly. This Merchant Center owns a specific website, and there are no other active Merchant Centers. This is quite fundamentally important for Google. What do we do next? We enter our business address. To do this, I go to our website, check the address, and enter it directly here. Next, we need to add information about the shipping of our products. In this case, for OpenCart, the most convenient option for us is to set a standard shipping cost for all products. If you use some direct integration with certain services, it might be better to do it through them. But in this case, we'll set a single universal shipping cost for the whole country. That won't be a problem. Select All Products. Select the order processing time. In our case, that's until 8 in the evening. Be sure to choose the correct time zone. Make sure you specify the order processing time correctly. This is the time it takes you to process this order. In this case, it's order 01. Next, delivery takes us about up to 3 days. Thanks to our Nova Poshta for handling everything properly. And so, we also need to specify the delivery cost correctly. If it's listed here on the website, that would be great. Alright, payment is made. Yes, pay, payment methods. You see, we don't have anything set up here yet. Yes, I pay with Nova Poshta daily. Now we'll set up some basic delivery cost. Preferably, it should be, reasonable. We'll choose flat rate and set it to 80 hryvnias. Flat rate. Save. Alright, delivery is set up for us. Next, we need to set our return policy. To do this, we click Add, but it's not absolutely necessary to set a return policy. Alright, terms of use. We don't have a return policy on this site. It would be good to add one, so I'll cancel this for now. Next, what do we have left to do? We need to add our products so that the initial review of our store can begin. Without this, we basically can't move forward. We won't be able to launch Google Shopping or do anything else, really. What do we need to do for this? Let's go back to our module. This one, the one that was on OpenCart. We find this block called Feed for Google Merchant, and here it's also available for Facebook and even TikTok. What do we need to do? Set up the settings for it correctly. So, first, set the status to enabled. We turn it on. Be sure to select the correct currency, product, and where to get the product identifier from, either from the model or from the product ID. Next, you can even set a security key. We immediately have links that can be generated specifically for this Merchant Center. We'll take the first link here. Next, we can fill in these information blocks here, if we have them at all. Since I have agricultural products here, I don't really need to specify either GTN or MPN. I don't have any product highlights. You can play around with all of this here and set it up. Ideally, of course, you would fill all this out, but if you suddenly don't have it or want to do something differently, you can do it later. Next, Other. We don't need customer additional scale, and we don't need minimum or maximum price. The status we select here the Ave stock force status, or whether we need to add all these products or not. There are a lot of these kinds of nuances here that you can add in this format. You can even set a UTM tag. In this case, I don't need most of this. I definitely follow this link. After following this link, I see these kinds of feedback samples. I don't have that many products on this site, so there are very few here. The next thing I do is take this link. Here, you definitely need to click Save so that our feed is activated. We go to Merchant Center, go to the Add Products section, select Add from File, and paste the link to this file. At first, I recommend setting it to monthly updates. First, you go through the verification of this whole thing. Oh man, I lost my train of thought. First, your task will be to pass the verification within 72 hours. If everything is okay, then you can set up an update schedule for yourself, either every 24 hours or weekly, depending on how often you make changes to your products. At first, I suggest setting it to monthly so that you can calmly pass the verification and so that the product information doesn't change too intensively. That will actually be better. Let's save it and move on. Be sure to do it correctly. Here, this is also a hidden block. You select the country where you are selling and make sure to choose the correct language for this feed. In my case, for example, it's Russian in this situation. I select the correct Russian and you choose C. For now in my marketing methods I only have free listings, meaning these are free ads. When we get to creating the ad account, paid advertising will automatically be added here as well. So we add it, make sure to click Continue, and now we'll be prompted to fill in some additional details. Oh, they didn't even prompt us. It was created automatically. That's it. Next, we wait for all this information to start loading into the Merchant Center. It won't take too long to load. This Merchant Center next can sometimes be a bit glitchy. In about 15 to 30 minutes, you should see the product information appear in the product section, just so you know. Next, it would definitely be a good idea to go straight to ECO and enable a few more options here. Be sure to turn on Advanced Data Source Management. Also, make sure to immediately enable Dynamic Remarketing. Definitely turn that on right away. Alright, next. Okay, promotions, Google API, yes, for now we're done here. And for now, that's enough for us to do what? To fill in the basic information about our store. We've entered the shipping information. Of course, you can also add a return policy. For now, it doesn't affect moderation. You can fill it in, or you can leave it blank. If it's critical for your Merchant Center, Google will let you know. At this point, it's not critical. We've filled in the shipping details. Our business information is basically filled in for now. Our website is verified and we've just uploaded the products. You see, I already have product information showing up. Right now, they're in under review status, so they will still be double-checked. If you suddenly want to see an overall picture of, say, how the product uploads are progressing or something like that, you can click on this View History. And soon, a nice chart will appear here. I'll show it later, as soon as it loads. What you saw, how many products passed moderation and how many didn't, is shown in the general card. Through this link, we can always find any global issues with our Merchant Center account. So for now, we're done with the Merchant Center. They're still telling us to add a return policy, but as I said, for now, you can add it or not add it. What's critical for us is to pass the initial verification. If you suddenly have any problems with it, just write to me and we'll find a way to help you get through moderation, because sometimes that's a whole separate story. If your store is set up incorrectly or some pages are missing, like in my case here, the return policy page is simply missing on this client's site, then there's nothing I can do about it. So that's the basics, and for now it's enough for us to create a Merchant Center, fill in the settings, and upload the product information. Of course, we've verified ownership of the site, and now we're just waiting for approval. At the same time, you can already start setting up goals and configuring the ad account, which we will look at in the next parts of this video.